Hello and welcome. You're tuned into CNBC TV18 Prime. Let's get cracking on a brand new edition of The Big C. I'm Manisha Gupta, back with your daily dose of commodities, cryptos and currencies. Before we extend the discussions with our guests for the day, a quick read-through, first of all, on the action on the global markets. The Wall Street kick-started the day on, or rather the week, on a mixed note. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 closed higher on the back of continued enthusiasm around the artificial intelligence theme. The strong third quarter results and higher AI spending plans from hyperscales continue to prop up the bull markets therein. Meanwhile, stocks in the Asia Pacific largely are in the red. Japanese Nikkei closed the cuts of over around 1.5%. Back home, the Nifty is trending to the lowest point of the day, but maintains stance above 25,600 levels. Shifting focus now to the cues from the oil market, and the prices are trading off highs as the traders digest OPEC Plus's decision to pause output hikes in the first quarter, even as there are concerns over a looming supply glut persisting. Market participants now are waiting for the latest U.S. inventory data. The U.S. dollar index, in the meanwhile, is trading steady near those three-month highs, almost nudging that $100 mark. Well, the Fed's rate cut last week, but the chairman, Jerome Powell, suggested that that might be the last cut of the year. Traders are now pricing in a 65% probability of a rate cut for the month of December versus a 94% in the preceding week. This shift in near-term expectations has boosted the greenback. And as you can see, the dollar index impact clearly on your screens right now. Joining us now is Vikram Subburaj. He's CEO, Geotus.com. Vikram, hi, thank you so much for joining in. And as we have seen, it has been a volatile market across for most part of 2025. The way October has gone, especially for cryptos, slightly on a weaker note, a decline perhaps as well. November continues to be quite volatile in that sense. Usually we do see that October is a positive month. It's called an Uptober, by the way. That hasn't played out as a theme in this year. And how are you looking at the final quarter of this year? We've seen a very strong first half. Second half is very volatile. The final quarter, what's your sense?
So you're right. The usual October has seemed to have an impact majorly driven by Jerome Powell's statement. So when the green is doing well, the alternative assets definitely have to take a step back. That is ideally what has happened. The market is expecting that the dollars are going to grow stronger in the shorter term, at least. So a lot of institutions which had invested earlier in the crypto space, they are reallocating their investments. So this definitely was seen in the ETFs AUM, where last 1 week close to $1.5 billion have been net outflows in the ETFs alone. So further, we are expecting maybe in the near term, there are going to be more of institutional outflows of funds. So in the next a month or two, crypto markets are going to be a bit volatile is the expectation. But having said that, this whole year has been majorly driven by the regulatory impacts that have happened in the crypto space, especially from the US. So we are expecting more things on the regulatory front could bring in cheer to the market, and that might start pushing prices up starting from Jan.
All right, that's quite hopeful, by the way. But Vikram, the other thing is, would you say 2025 also is a year where we have seen more maturity come into the markets? I mean, I remember the last 2 or 3 or even 4 years, we spoke about meme coins quite a bit, but this year we've done the least amount of that. So would you say there's more maturity, there's more quality that the street or investors are looking at?
You're bang on. See, it's a big relief that the industry moved from the meme coin frenzy to talking about a lot of institutional investments, hedge funds, pension funds. They're looking at to this crypto space as an alternative investment to make. Now, frankly, the narrative this year has been majorly around real world asset tokenization, stable coins. How could that be used for cross-border transfers, remittance, and also around digital asset treasury. So more and more crypto is getting into mainstream and more use cases, especially around stable coins. When they have started coming out, you're definitely right that the industry has started entering more into the mainstream foray. And that coupled with regulations, I think has played majority of the reason for the price uptake in the crypto space in the 2025 alone. Now, the coming year, again, we don't expect anything different to play out. There's definitely going to be a lot of positive fronts in the regulatory front from the US government is what is expected. And definitely during this bull run, there are a lot of industries, especially around real world asset tokenizations, they are building up. I think that, along with DeFi, could have a major role to play in the upcoming years.
Vikram, you spoke about DeFi and, of course, real-world asset tokenization. We've also seen stable coins do quite well in the past few months, that is, with a major market moving in that direction as well. How do you see all of that with India's perspective? We seem to be moving quite well in this space, but at a slower pace, would you say?
Yeah, so definitely there's no limit for what we industry people can ask. We want it all. With definitely a favorable regulation, Indians can definitely do better than anyone else than in the world. But having said that, yes, we are a capital restricted nation. We have to tread cautiously. Definitely, taxations are something that is worrying. There have been a lot of discussion that is happening with the regulators. But yes, we are still treading slowly. But having said that, we are now in a position that the government is looking at how to regulate this ecosystem. Gone are the days like 3, 4 years back when there was a worry in the industry that if there is going to be a ban in the industry. I think those worries are not there anymore. And more or less, more discussions are happening on how to get regulated. What are the different aspects in the ecosystem, starting from stable coins to CBDC? You would have definitely seen a lot of discussions happening in the CBDC front as well. So the Indian ecosystem is also maturing. We as an ecosystem are also having a lot of engagement with the government that is going on. So we are hoping that all these engagements will in turn result into more regulatory focus coming into this space. I'm just hoping 2026 to be the year for Indian regulations and hoping the market to react positively when the regulations kick in as well.
All right. Well, I understand we waited too long for those regulations to come in. But Vikram, when you talk about the investment within the segment, how has that really been? We do understand that India perhaps hosts the largest number of developers within the country. But when it comes to startups, when it comes to investment, when it also comes to foreign investment within that space, how has that been for 2025?
Yes. So if you see even globally, crypto investments in the past few years has been a bit slow. Only in the last year or year and a half is when a lot of investments had started happening. Crypto went into a period of a prolonged bear market, but the last 1.5 years with the US regulatory turning positive, that's when most investments started coming in. We are seeing similar trends. If you have noticed, there are few investments that have also started coming into crypto space, into the exchange space in particular. And definitely, though there is not a lot of clarity that has come in the regulatory front, there's definitely a lot of movements that has happened towards, for example, something like AML and CFT in terms of FIU stepping in and bringing into the players under the FIU's gambit. So a lot of that is definitely creating an impression that this industry in India is going to get into a regulated zone sometime in the near future, maybe. So the outlook is turning out good, which is definitely be seen by investors. I'm hoping that the next year is going to be very, very crucial for the industry in terms of bringing in a lot of investments into the country. So there is a positive outlook now that has been built. Definitely, a lot of eyes have turned into the Indian crypto market. I can definitely say a lot of discussions are also going on with a lot of players. I'm just hoping that all that converts into positive investments flowing into India very, very soon.
Vikram, how far would you say is crypto from being mainstream? Because, I mean, I understand that it took equity some time. We are still fighting for commodities to be mainstream. Gold perhaps just seems to be about making that there. And crypto is slightly away.
So I think we'll have to split this question a bit and see how far mainstream in most of the other nations and how far it can get into mainstream in India. Because frankly, the way stable coins have gotten into the mainstream cross-border remittance space and the payment space, we are actually seeing a real-world use case which is drastically and dramatically growing. Now, yes, in India, we have taken a cautious step. Definitely, it's a capital control nation. We'll have to be careful about these decisions. But globally, yes, already it is becoming mainstream. It is growing in a much, much faster space. In India, definitely, yes, we are a bit slower here. So maybe with more regulations, we will try to catch up very, very soon. But if you ask me, is it mainstream yet? We are definitely seeing a lot of things happening in the real world asset tokenization space. and also in the stable coin space. Now it's just a matter of fact that India catches up and makes it mainstream. So.
All right. Vikram, for 2026 now, what is the theme that you think will continue to play out? Is it still going to be institutional demand that continues to see more adoption? Are you looking at tokenization as a theme picking up stronger?
Yeah. So the first biggest factor is going to be regulatory intervention in the US. Since there has been a US government shutdown, there is not much of news that is coming out that is favorable for the industry yet. But next year, we are definitely expecting a lot of things that might happen in the US regulatory front, be it the Clarity Act and more things happening on the stablecoins regulations from the Genius Act per se as well. So with a lot of regulatory interventions happening, definitely a lot of institutional funds are going to flow in. So that is definitely a big narrative that is going to take shape in the next year as well. Now, apart from that, definitely everyone is bullish about the way stable coins is growing, the way it is creating a big impact in the remittance space and the payment space. Real world asset tokenization, starting from real estate to stock token, equity tokenizations, and a lot of other use cases which are coming up is going to shape up. AI story which is happening outside of the crypto space, it's also having a big impact within the crypto space. I think AI also as a story has a big impact to play within crypto as well. Digital asset treasuries, as we have seen this year, they have been something that has definitely brought in a lot of institutional investments in. They are also going to be something that is very interesting to watch out for the upcoming year. That is going to definitely bring in a lot of institutional money into this space as well. So these are the major narratives that we should be looking out for the next year as well.
Vikram Subburaj, thank you so much for joining in and talking about the whole host of things that impacts crypto and, of course, the crypto itself and how that could be moving ahead in the year 2026. Appreciate your time here. And with that, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we talk all things precious metals with Avinash Gupta of Gem and Jewelry Council. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned with us at Big C at CNBC TV18 Prime. Avinash Gupta, VC Gem and Jewelry Council, now joins us on the show to talk about gold and silver prices and, of course, demand going forward. Mr. Gupta, hi, thank you so much for your time. First of all, on the gold prices itself, there was, it still is a very strong gain that we are looking at in the current year for the gold prices, almost 52 to 53% on the higher side. But the kind of FOMO and euphoria that we saw in the last couple of months when the gold prices were going higher now seems to be abating as the gold prices have seen some profit taking, even seeing some consolidation right now.
Thank you, Manisha ji. Good afternoon, everyone. And yes, rightly told by you, still so far it's more than 50% growth in this current year. So when the prices go up so high, a deep correction with the profit taking was on the cards, and it has come and it has consolidated from there. And it is in a very strong consolidation phase. Definitely, there is a high which is still there, and all the commentaries of all the international banks are still saying about $5,000. But definitely, we feel we have to be cautious. Another 3 to 4% down can be there, and investors have to be cautious when they are taking the fresh investment call. So I think when it comes to jewelry, definitely jewelry has a very good season during Diwali, and post Diwali also follow-up buying is going on, and people are looking jewelry buying because the festive season is gone, but the wedding season is in. So it is going to be a very good 3 months from now. As far as jewelry is concerned, all the numbers which are coming out from the jewelry companies are showing what we were talking about, that the jewelry sales are still intact, even the prices have gone up so much. So confidence of consumer in gold is still intact, and I see that to be intact for the next 3 months also. Definitely there will be a little bit of corrections going on, but still we are on the top. We are going to see still bullish trend going on.
Mr. Gupta, I take your point here because, as you said, all the jewelry third quarter numbers that are coming in do show a very strong positive buying that we've seen. Some of the jewelry companies actually displaying record numbers as well, even at these very high gold prices. But moving on from here, for this current quarter now, what is the kind of wedding season demand that we are anticipating? We do understand that for India, bridal jewelry is still 50 to 55% of overall gold bought in an year. Are you looking at those heavy pieces and high caratages pieces still doing well?
Manisha ji, as rightly told by you, we have a 50-55% sales of wedding, and this quarter sees the highest number of weddings. A reason being very clear, because everyone wants to enjoy the winters of India, which is very good. So that's the reason a maximum number of weddings are going to happen in this quarter, and there is a number which has come, which is more than 4 lakh weddings, which are going to be there in this quarter. So if that number is correct, then we are anticipating a better number than the last year, because the gold prices have already gone up. So, and as far as the pieces of higher caratages and higher weight is concerned, bridal jewelry is for the heavier side. So it is going to see the heavier pieces selling more, but definitely people are looking at 18 karat and 22 karat to buy the jewelry for their weddings, because now people are looking gold as an investment, which is giving a very high return compared to other investments. So that also is there on the heads of the people. So definitely they are going to go for the heavier pieces in this season, and we are anticipating a number which is roughly around 10% higher in volume in this season, as and roughly around 35 to 40% in the value terms in this quarter. Manisha ji.
All right. 4 lakh weddings in India in this quarter itself, and imagine how much of gold is going to be bought for that matter. Mr. Gupta, how are you also looking at the gold prices from here on? As you said, this is a very strong consolidation phase that we're looking at in case of gold. But we've seen almost 4,400 on the higher side. We're trading at around 4,000 below that even. What is the range that you're working with now for this quarter?
Honestly speaking, Manisha ji, on the lower side, I don't see the number going down below 3,800 for sure. And on the top, we might see a break of the all-time high of 44.85 also, 43.85. So I am bullish on the top, but as a caution, I am looking at $3,800 as the low.
Mr. Gupta, much of this, of course, is the bridal buying at this point in time. But if you look at the World Gold Council data that came in for the third quarter of this year, it does show that the jewelry demand has been quite weak, not just in India, but various other regions around, especially Asia. Investment demand on the other side has been stronger. Now, a lot of people buy jewelry as an investment as well. Do you see investment as a demand, even as prices have seen a decline, to just about continue?
See, investments are going to continue. And in India, jewelry is also considered a part of investments from the major part of the people. And this year, I think in the wedding season, people are looking at gold jewelry more than the diamond jewelry. Earlier, diamond jewelry was considered for the bridal thing, and gold jewelry is considered on the second set by the big ticket people. But on the big ticket side, now gold is also being consumed for the bridal jewelry. That's a different take altogether. So that is the very big reason why I said we might see a 10% growth this year in gold jewelry sales during this wedding season. That's the very important thing which I consider when I look at 10% growth in the jewelry number. So I think we in this particular season, in this particular quarter, we might see a 10% growth, because this is considered as an investment also, because a lot of people have roughly around 8 to 10% value addition in gold, which they pay compared to the studded jewelry. So I think this will be taken it as an investment tool for people in India.
Mr. Gupta, let's talk about silver as well, because that's another thing that you also deal in very, very strongly on. And the silver prices have been more volatile. This one also has come off from its all-time high of almost $54.50 to around $47.50 or thereabouts. How are you looking at the silver prices from here on for this quarter, and how are you looking at the silver demand from here on?
See, silver demand has been very phenomenal during Dhanteras Diwali season. And when it comes to the price part, I am looking again in silver. I don't see silver going down below $44 for sure. And on the top, in next 3 months, I see $60-65 for silver. So both the things are there. Definitely, investor has to be cautious when it comes to buying. They have to think that we are buying an asset which has a potential to go down by 10%, but has a potential to go up by 30%. So both sides, they have to think, and then only they have to invest. But when it comes to articles and jewelry, the demand of silver articles and jewelry is going up drastically in India, because people are buying jewelry of silver who don't have the pockets to afford the price rise of gold. So they are shifting towards silver. And in article space, people have understood that this is the best investment as well as the gifting article. So I think that is also giving a good impact on silver consumption. Manisha ji.
How are you also looking at the silver imports in this year? Because various reports and various surveys suggest that we could be looking at anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000 tons of silver coming into India for the year 2025 also.
Yeah, definitely. As I told you, the consumption has gone up, and India is majorly dependent on imports. Only Hindustan Zinc and the other small players are there who are manufacturing in India, which is a very small percentage. So definitely we are looking at 5,000 to 6,000 tons of silver getting imported in this financial year.
You also mentioned that it's gold first and then perhaps diamonds as a segment that seems to be picking up. Now, diamond prices haven't gone really anywhere, much lower than where they were in 2022, and they actually have declined on a quarter-on-quarter basis as well. Is that something that will push people to diamonds, or do you think it is gold which will continue to roll?
No, actually, on diamond front, lab grown gave a very tough time for diamond people. If I look at that particular aspect, diamond is started picking up back because people have understood natural is natural, and people are buying diamonds more now. And if I look at the numbers of last year on diamond jewelry sales, they will definitely show up a very good recovery in this particular financial year. Diamond sales are going up. I told you earlier, people were giving the first preference to diamond jewelry. Then gold was given a very small percentage. Now with the gold prices going up, the gold jewelry sales have gone up. It does not mean people are not buying diamond jewelry. So people earlier were shifting their mindset towards the lab grown, but now lab grown people are buying only on solitaires. When it comes to jewelry, diamond is still on. And definitely in the smaller sizes of diamonds, diamonds have not gone down so much. So it will keep the confidence of the consumer intact on diamond jewelry as safe.
All right, so people are buying gold and silver, and natural diamond is back, and only when you want to buy big solitaires and rocks is when lab-grown comes into picture. Mr. Gupta, as always, thank you so much for joining in and making sense of all that's happening in case of gold, silver, diamonds, and of course the Indian jewelry market therein. Also, thank you for sharing the price view for the gold and silver going forward. Well, with that, that's all the time that we have on the show. A wrap on this episode of Big C. Thank you for watching.